Good morning, everyone. This video today is a couple ways to help with car theft when you're using rideshare platforms like Turo, Getaround, hyrecar. Just a little bit of extra insurances and things I use to help me keep that ratio down when it comes to people stealing cars. Before I begin, let's remember that this is very serious. And just because you have these extra layers of security measures doesn't mean it's going to fully stop your car from getting stolen. This is just, it helps increases the chances, increases the odds of you knowing what the car location is at all times. If someone just so happens to disable the GPS, they have another. So this is just a video just to help with a couple pointers, a couple things that can help keep your vehicle for as long as you can, because again, these vehicles are investments. One little Nissan Versa is like 10 grand a year, so having 2 or 3 Nissan Versas stolen a year, you're cutting $30,000 a year out of your total yearly income. So it's very serious. So these things really help. They help me out a lot. I've actually caught people trying to steal. I've had people get locked up over certain situations with my vehicles. It hasn't happened a lot. I don't want to make it sound like I'm just some badass, going around and taking care of different people, and like that's not the case. Like, it's been very rare, but it has helped me out a lot. So a couple things. The car itself. If you have a vehicle with most newer navigation systems, more than likely someone like BMW, Mercedes, OnStar, they offer the service for GPSs. I have this on my Corvette. My Corvette comes with the OnStar. I can actually go into my phone. I can locate the car. I can start the car. Everything right there from my phone. It's really big because even like the scammers or the people who steal cars, they don't really like that. They don't really like cars like that because it's extremely difficult to disable one of those GPSs. Most of them don't know how to do it. So it always helps to have one straight from the factory. Now here's the thing. Usually if you have a car like that has OnStar, BMWs with the BMW, I forget the name of the infotainment thing. More than likely with those type of cars, they're going to know that they shouldn't take this type of car. They probably won't even book that type of car. Like if I'm one of them and I'm looking for a car, I'm looking for really dinosaur Flintstone age vehicles as far as technology. So if you go get a base model Nissan Sentra, it got the roll up windows, it has the old radio in it, no screen, nothing on the mirrors. That's the type of cars I'm looking for. I'm looking for the base model vehicles. I'm not looking for nothing that may or may not have an onboard GPS. But buying cars that have that really help out as a big deterrent from people looking to steal cars. So just look out for that as far as the cars. And again, most of my tips and pointers are for people trying to do it themselves. It's not necessarily the most expensive route. You can go expensive route and have there's companies like I know here in Atlanta we got a couple places, like a place called like Jay's Electronic, where I can go get a $800 GPS theft system put in it. And I had a really expensive sensor on my Lamborghini Gallardo. It was so tied into the lines. If you disabled it anyhow, if it's even tampered with or moved, it sends you an alert. Once it gets disconnected, it completely shuts the whole car off. Like, it was no way to steal this car. I actually had someone try to steal my Lamborghini Gallardo. Because all my vehicles was geofenced. So once it left like the Atlanta metro area, my exotic cars was not allowed to go outside of the city of Atlanta. Well, they could, like if let's say we're talking about Decatur or Stockbridge or something like that, that was totally fine. But if it left 20 miles outside of the city, I want my shit back, and I make that known for my. Cause at the time that was my only exotic car, and it was a Lamborghini. It was my first Lamborghini actually. So again, that's something you can do. It's just a little bit more pricey. Something simple you can do. I have it here. I'll show you. Is purchasing one of these and one of these. So, but these are these Hums, and there's other brands like Bouncy, Sprint has some. It's like a monthly subscription. It's like $5, but these things are great. They diagnose the vehicle. If anything goes wrong with the car, they have a free towing service. It's all kind of benefits to have one of these Hums. It lets me know how fast someone's driving, how hard they're braking, any burnouts, harsh accelerations. I've gotten reimbursed based off the reports of these multiple times. So this is a really useful tool. And like I haven't used Bouncy or the other ones. I've heard great positive reviews about them. I just only really know from the Hums. This was the first system I dealt with, and I've absolutely loved them. So it's like a OnStar without, the little cute little button thing. So this thing is great. It will usually hook up to the ODO port, which is, located right up under your dash. That's what they use for emission tests, or they need to diagnose your check engine. That's usually where that goes. The problem with some cars, like some of my vehicles, like my Range Rover, if I stick this in, it's completely invisible. You can't see it. But some of my videos, like vehicles, I think what's my car which sticks out like a sore thumb? Oh, my 6 Series. My 6 Series BMW. If I put one of these, it literally sticks out. And what was happening in the beginning was some of the customers, they was kicking it out when they would get out the car because the car sits so low, which was absolutely annoying because it would give me the impression that someone was either trying to steal the car, they removed it. It wasn't until like I got the car back, like it was like a slow week, and I actually was able to keep the BMW for like a week because my BMW stays gone all the time. The 6 Series is probably the most popular BMW in Atlanta besides the i8, and people stay renting my 6 Series, and which was great, but I never had it. So it was like a slow week in Atlanta. I had it for a week, and I probably kicked this thing out maybe 4 times in that week. So I realized no one was purposely doing it. It was, it just comes out if you're a tall guy. I'm not even that tall. I'm like 5'8", but my little legs kicked it. So I'm pretty sure the taller guys was doing it. With the Hum, so what you want to do if you have a car like that, or really in general, you want to buy one of these. I got this, it's like a dummy. These actually, both of these work. It goes into your ODO port and leaves you these two to leave open for whatever you want to connect them to. So I would connect one to the Hum, like so. I would connect it to the Hum, and I would hide it completely like up above on the dash, and put this in the ODM port's place. So if a thief was thinking about taking the vehicle and he looked down there, and more than likely, and here's the thing, they're not really looking at these. They don't really know what these things are like that. But if they did, they would see this and not this, meaning because this is as simple as yanking out. You know what I mean? Unless I wrapped it like, 500 times. But this thing, but I would have this one as the dummy cord, have this behind, and have this plugged into the ODM port. Now, with the ODM port, with some vehicles, you're going to have to, it's like 2 tiny screws that hold it, that holds the ODM, the actual bracket together. Some of you are going to have to unscrew that and pop it out and just let it hang or let it go back, because it'll still be poking out. So like, for instance, like if you put this in the ODM port and your dash starts right here, it's still sticking out. This whole thing is sticking out, so that'll just look retarded. So unscrew that and shove this back there, and then let this take its place. You put that in the bracket, and then you just connect the, you keep this connected here, and this is just open. That is the cheaper way. Hums usually cost, I go through Verizon. I already have an account with Verizon. You can buy them on eBay. You can buy them on Amazon. They're like, I think like $80. With Verizon, I only had to pay like $20-30. I can't remember. It was really cheap. And then this cord was off of eBay for $7. It's an ODO splitter. It's like $7. And like I said, the hum was like $5 a month. So it was really, really, really cheap, really inexpensive. An awesome way to, have that extra layer of security. So let's say you're with Getaround and you're having some of the problems I'm having with Getaround, and and if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see why I'm saying this. But with Getaround, I know for a fact that they've had people who work for Getaround who knows how to disable the GPSs that Getarounds will put up on each vehicle. So let's say, for instance, you get one of those guys, a thief comes around and one of their friends or whatever, they clip it. Like again, you have to see some of my old videos to know what I'm talking about. But let's say they clip it, you still have that secondary GPS that they do not know to look for unless they see this video, of course. But they do not know what to look for. But those just are some tips. The last thing is they do sell the GPS system where you can it's magnetic. You can put it anywhere. You can put it up on the fender, on the muffler. You can put it on the roof liner, underneath the hood. You can put them anywhere. Those are great. I've actually had those, but I stopped using those only because of battery life. If you're doing something like Turo, you're dealing with more frequent clients, so you'll be able to get those GPSs and charge them up if you have the extra time. This is cool if you got like 1-2 cars, but if you got a fleet like me, this is not ideal. So the problem is the battery life on those be like 2-3 days, and the problem with when you're using Getaround and hyrecar is those cars are frequently going out. And you never really see them. So your GPS will be working for 3-4 days, but if the person keep it on the 5th, 6th, 7th day, it's dead, and it's no use to you. If someone steals your car, the GPS is doing nothing for you. So I will only recommend those if you only got like 1-2 cars and you're seeing your car every time it comes back. That way just to simply take it out, charge it for an hour, and put it back. But if you don't have that time, like I don't have the time, or I'm just simply going to forget, I'm not gonna install those in my car. It's too tedious. It's too headache. And again, with the hum, I like that it also monitors the maintenance of the vehicles. I typically be knowing what to do with my cars before they come. So, like for instance, my Mustang was out on a rental, and it threw a P103 or P003. Either one has something to do with a misfire with a cylinder. So I know that I either have to change one of the core packs, or I have to do the spark plugs. Something simple as that. And it popped up on my phone, and it told me what it recommended. And the minute the car came back, instead of finding out, being upset, pissed off, took it straight to Ford. The car's still under warranty, so they're taking care of it. So but I'm glad, because sometimes I don't see my cars. I have someone sometimes will get my cars for me, and they don't know really what to look. It's not your car. It's kind of them things where people don't treat your business the better than you can. So that car could have been sitting there for 3, 4, 5 days. I didn't know it had a check engine light on. Then a client would have wanted to rent the car and couldn't rent the car. You see what I'm saying? So again. Those are just some pointers. If you guys have any other ideas, please comment below. Anything that can help, because this will really just help with the ride sharing platform in general and people's experiences. Because I mean, if you were still able to track your car, I wouldn't care if my car was in Tennessee. As long as I know it's in Tennessee, that's one leg up. You know what I mean? So I don't mind, driving down to Tennessee to catch the culprits in action and get my vehicle. But yeah, guys, that's all I got. If you guys got anything else, hit me up.